everyone, welcome back to another Figma review, and today's Figma number 237, Kusanagi Motoko S.A.C version from Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. And this seems to be for the 25th anniversary of Ghost in the Shell. And as usual, this is by Max Factory. Through the window of the front of the box, you can see the figure of Motoko herself, two alternate faces, a handgun, an assault rifle, alternate dynamic hair parts, and what appears to be an alternate pair of boobs. As always, a picture on the top, same one down here on the bottom, on the left-hand side of the box, and there on the right-hand side of the box. Some pictures on the back of the box that'll give you an idea of what to expect from the figure, and so far it looks fantastic. I would have preferred an original movie version, but this is pretty cool as well. So that's it for the box. Let's bust this thing open and see what we've got. The DI stage section in the same shade of purple as the box. So here's that clear inner packaging, and this is a little bare compared to what I've seen lately. When you think of the amount of accessories you get with Ninja Slayer and Chariot, this does look a little on the scarce side. Everything in here you can pretty much see from outside of the box. So that's the figure, faces, handgun, assault rifle, alternate hair, alternate boobs. Down here in the bottom of the box is the Figma bag, rack of alternate hands, the base, the stand, as well as the instructions. The instructions, just like last time, in Japanese on this side, and around here in English. So let's move on to the main event, the figure itself. So here she is out of the box, and what can I say that I haven't said a million times before? Max Factory has nailed it again, just like they always do. Well, most of the time. But this time, they've definitely nailed it. And what really caught my eye the minute I took this out of the box is that jacket. For the most part, it's all in a nice light grey matte paint. But that jacket really does stand out, and it's a perfect contrast against what is essentially all matte paint. The default face is never usually the most exciting part of a Figma, but this face does look excellent. That usual awesome Figma detail on the eyes, but what really looks great on this is those lips. The line of the mouth is perfectly executed, and as you can see, it might be a little difficult in the video, but the lips are in a slightly different color to the rest of the face, and that little extra bit of detail really makes this shine. The sculpt of the hair is perfect as well, looking very nice, and that's a real retro anime haircut right there. The ports on the back of her neck are also done there, and that looks so good. Moving down to the torso now, and like I mentioned, the gloss paint on the jacket looks fantastic. Some nice line detailing there, zipper on the sleeve up here as well as down here. That's some nice minute detail, some nice folds in there as well, and that gloss paint really catches the light. Like I mentioned once before at Archer, they have added this slit here, and there is a division here which shouldn't be in the jacket, but of course this is here for articulation's sake. It is a real trade-off between aesthetics and the overall posability of the figure, but I think this still looks pretty good regardless. Moving a little further down, and this lining detail on the abdomen looks spectacular. Some more nice detailing around here on the side. The paintwork as well looks great. The belt is also nicely detailed, but there is a little bit of paint up here. You can see there's some gray on the belt buckle where it shouldn't be. Some more nice folding detail there as well as around here on the back. And last up down here are the boots in black, and she measures in at about 14.5 centimeters. All in all, this is another fantastic looking Figma. So here's the Major herself with everything that she comes with. So moving from left to right, we have the assault rifle, as well as this extra barrel, which I assume must be a silencer or something like that, a handgun, two alternate faces, 8 alternate hands, and the alternate hairpiece, an alternate chest piece. So here's the assault rifle all in black, and this is very nicely detailed. As well as that, there's also this barrel part, which just attaches on like so. Be careful of that because it does feel a little bit delicate, and there it is with that attached. So there's the pistol also in black and also nicely detailed. Did notice, however, there is a bit of a nub here on the bottom where that would have been cut out from the mold. That isn't nice to see. If you look at the rifle, that is there a little bit as well, but not really so noticeable. Here's the alternate dynamic windswept hair part, and that looks great. Here are the hands. We have two widespread open hands, a pair of standard Figma holding hands. This hand here is for holding the rifle. This part is for holding the front grip on the rifle. This one here is for holding the handgun, and this last one up here, I can't help but notice, has a really stubby thumb. But this one is for using in poses like this, where she's holding the handgun with both hands. As for faces, there's the default, which you've seen already, a smiling face, and last up is a shouting face, and also there's the alternate hair part. There is the alternate chest piece, and according to the instructions, this is for using for poses where she's holding the handgun with both hands. To change the chest parts, they just come off like that, fairly simply, and pop back on like that. So now a bit of a before and after comparison. of the chest parts. So as you can see, the alternate parts are exclusively for using with the handgun, as it does look a little bit awkward in normal poses. So far, the accessories is probably the weakest aspect of this figure. There isn't a whole lot in here, but I have to say I love the alternate hair part, and I think all Figma should come with something like this. So now moving on to articulation, and as always, from the head down. So articulation at the neck, all the way down, that's pretty good, and there's all the way up. One more time, down and up. Left and right rotation, and that, oh, she's gone bald. Rotation at the neck then, and it can go all the way around. Side to side tilt, and I'm not really getting much out of that. Articulation at the shoulder, all the way up, pretty good, and all the way around. Next, the elbow, and there's the bend. Now at the wrist, and there's quite a bit of movement there as usual, a little bit blocked by the cuff. Articulation at the torso, all the way to the front, all the way to the back, and that is quite good. To the front, a little bit limited though. Side to side, and that is really, really good. If you bend her too far to the side though, you can see, oh, she's gone bald again. The leg all the way up to the front, and not too much there. As you can see, that is causing this part to cave in a little bit, so maybe be a bit careful with that so you don't permanently damage this section here. All the way to the back, so not too much movement to the back there. Lateral movement out to the side, and that is pretty damn good. So she can almost do the splits. The bend at the knee, that's pretty good. So now articulation at the ankle, there's all the way down, all the way up, and as you can see, the toes can bend as well. Can't really get too much side to side tilt there, a little bit, but not too much. So as for the articulation, it's pretty much average. Not really a whole lot to say here for quality because this is spectacular. The quality here is fantastic. We've got soft material on the jacket up here so it doesn't get in the way. The joint strength is good and strong as always. As you've already seen, the detailing on this figure is amazing. As far as I can see, there's no mold or seam lines to be seen anywhere, and I guess the only negative aspect I could mention is that the hair is a little bit loose. It does pop off quite easily, but that never is really a problem. Figma quality always is top notch, but this figure goes even above and beyond that. It is perfect, and the balance isn't too bad either. So what can I say? That is it for my Kusanagi Motoko S.A.C version review. If you're a Ghost in the Shell fan, especially a standalone complex fan, I would highly, highly recommend this figure. But even if you're not, I would still recommend it. It may be quite light on the accessories, but this really makes up for it in quality. This figure is pretty much perfect in every regard. The paint, the sculpt, pretty much everything is perfect on this. The only thing I could knock it for is that bit of paint on the belt, and the hair can be a little bit loose, but besides that, there are no other issues at all. So as always, thanks for watching, and make sure to come back for more Figma reviews.